Hi, I'd like to read some of my story for you. It's called Christmas Special, and it's in this anthology, Gifts of the Magi, a speculative holiday collection. It's a book we put together in the Speculative Fiction Guild. Oops, let's see, Speculative Fiction Guild, uh, which is a local group of writers in Indianapolis that are looking to better themselves professionally. And it is for a charity, Indy Reads Books, which is on Mass Ave here in Indy, and is a charity that promotes literacy among adults, especially. Um, and the stories are all science fiction, fantasy, and we have one zombie Christmas story. We have an essay by Nicole Cushing on some lumps of coal that she deems uh, some real stinkers from speculative fiction on television and movies. Um, let's see, we have all kinds of stuff. Some steampunk from Cat French, and I'll just read some here. Um, my story is set in two of my universes. Well, it's one universe, the Road Ghosts world, which is what let's see, um, my book Four Till Late started off. This is the first book in the trilogy. It stars Gonzo and Brett. Gonzo is in this story, Christmas Special, um, and the second book is Sinking Down, and I don't have a picture of the latest, the ending of the series, Me and the Devil. Um, but there was another series is yet to be published, called the Tipsy Fairy Tales, that starts off with Blue Spirit and contains another character that you'll find here. I guess, or maybe you've heard of the Transit King if you follow me at all. He is a fairy character. He is a fairy godfather, um, in a sort of jovial but maybe not so jovial sense. Um, I had a short story also published as a single called um, uh, Spectral Delivery, and it starred a pizza delivery girl named Enid who gets wrapped up in some of the road ghosts' misadventures, and she is the star of Christmas Special, and it's a combination of those two worlds, or those two series, I should say. I'm just going to read you a few pages just to give you a taste. Christmas Special. The week before Christmas, Uncle Gonzo and I took the megabus to Chicago. Not the Christmas fantasy I had in mind, but on a delivery driver's budget, there was no way I'd get back to Seattle to see my family this year. I'd rather have worked through the holidays, but with students headed home, King's Pizza was dead. So my options were to either work drastically reduced hours or use my vacation days. Come on up to Chi-Town with me, Enid, he'd said. You'll like the LT. He's a bit rough, but a sweetheart once you get to know him. Don't let the age difference bother you. He's never progressed past his 20s. And you're totally his type. Petite, dark-haired, and sarcastic. Gons. No. What? He's a good guy. Jarhead, Gulf War vet. I am not looking. No more setting me up, okay? Gonzo's not my uncle. At least not any more than he's everyone's uncle. He's a big bear of a man whose large furry warmth outweighed the figurative claws and teeth he bared now and again. So when he suggested a holiday getaway on the cheap to see Chicago and stay free at his buddy's place, it sounded better than twiddling my thumbs for a week missing family. No way I'd considered a megabus trip alone, so traveling with Gonzo fixed that. Viola teased me about romantic possibilities with the big guy, but it's not like that. He's just a friend. He's my manager. He's old enough to be my uncle for real. Anyway, Gonzo and I sat across from each other at a table on the top deck of the double-decker bus as it bounced down the road. The upper level experienced everything the road had to offer with extra added drama. Every pothole lifted me off my seat. Every gust of wind made my stomach lurch along with the swaying of the bus. Every turn made me grab onto a rail, worried that this time we'd tip over for sure. Did you get a look at the driver? I said. What a gorilla. He could bench press you, no problem, Gonzo snorted. As if. He's not so big. Plus, a guy like that sits for a living. Turning a steering wheel isn't going to build real muscles. I grinned at him. Not like wielding the batleth of doom to slice up pizzas. Now that's a workout. Gonzo flexed like a professional wrestler. You better believe it, Enid. It's not a job for the weak. A voice came from right next to me. Aye, 'tis a warrior's job and no mistake. The scruffy little man who appeared at my elbow seemed to be a graying woodchuck with delusions of grandeur. He wore a crown made of aluminum foil with some kind of colorful rectangle stuck to it, like candy gems. His wide grin turned my exclamation of surprise into startled laughter. He winked at me. I had no response to that. Gonzo put his hands on the table and half rose out of his seat, looming over the little guy. Listen, bud, this is a private conversation. Woodchuck guy laughed and stood. Forgive me manners, sir. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm called the Transit King, and I've got a business to discuss with you. Transit King, said Gonzo. Oh, no, not again. No more of this supernatural crap. I'm on vacation. I looked from the little guy to Gonzo and back. Transit King. I watch over the ways, I help those in need in return for favors owed, and I try to keep the supernatural apart from ye humans as best I can. But seeing as you're both a little touched by the supernatural already, I figure you're the best ones to talk to about me business proposition. Gonzo growled, Look, my best friend's a ghost magnet, and I nearly got killed by trolls over the summer. Enough is enough, you little... I held up a hand to stop Gonzo. I looked the transit guy in the eye. So for real, you're some kind of magical being, and you need us for something? The transit king's eyes twinkled as he nodded. Smart lass. All I need is a favor. Usually people ask favors of me, and then they owe me. I'm offering a favor for a favor, a small one at that. Enid, don't, said Gonzo, sitting back down. If he's who I think he is, he's trouble. I looked back at Gonzo. Yeah? Well, maybe I want a little trouble. No offense, but delivering pizzas is glamorous and all, but this is my vacation, and I'm jumping at the chance for a little excitement, okay? Besides, going on pizza runs with your ghost hunter buddy has made me a magnet for weird stuff. Gonzo folded his arms. Don't say I didn't warn you. He spat a sarcastic, okay? Gonzo folded his arms. Oops, I just read that, didn't I? I turned back to the Transit King. What's the favor? What do I get in return? He rummaged around in his coat pocket and came up with a box, the kind jewelry comes in. I had a bad feeling. No, sorry, Rumpelstiltskin, I'm not marrying you. The Transit King laughed a deep belly laugh that went on and on. Tears streamed down his wrinkled, rose-red cheeks. After a minute of that laughter, I joined him. Even Gonzo chuckled, and I saw his shoulders relax a bit. Nay, nothing of the sort, lass. Marriage isn't for the likes of me. You say you're a delivery girl? Well, think of this like a delivery. But let me show you what's in the package. The little red velvet box creaked open to reveal a wrought iron ring. I thought it might be one of those old-fashioned nail rings my grandmother told me about when I was a little girl. A cheap souvenir from Amish country, maybe. Gosh, I snarked. The Transit King waved his free hand as though erasing a blackboard. Like any magic lass, it's much more than it seems. First of all, it's iron, so I can't touch it myself. Iron? Why not? Gonzo sighed. He's a fairy. Iron burns them. The Transit King raised an eyebrow at Gonzo. Thought you didn't want to have anything to do with the supernatural, hey? Just because I don't want to believe doesn't mean I don't know anything, bud. I held up a hand to stop the back and forth. Okay, so it's an iron ring. Big whoop. The Transit King focused on me, and his voice fell to a whisper. 'Tis not just any trinket, lass. This here is the reindeer ring. It has special powers. I need you to hang on to it for me until we get to Chicago. And I think I'll leave the rest for you to read when you pick up your own copy of Gifts of the Magi. And all proceeds are going to benefit Indie Reads Books. And I hope you'll enjoy my story. Thank you.